All right, guys, you have been fantastic. I'm going to bring up our main act of the night. Are you guys ready for the Miserable Comedy Man? Guys, give it up for the Miserable Comedy Man!
Thank you, everyone. That was almost the gayest introduction I've seen. The fist bump went to a fucking handshake fist bump. I wasn't sure what that was about. It was very strange. But yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you very much to Jamie for having me. Thanks to Anthony for the introduction. It's true, my son actually saw this picture and thought that was me, right? And obviously, I had his eyes tested the next day. But that's why Jamie asked me to do this, because he thought this is me. It's true, right? I'm wearing a lot of blue tonight. I just noticed that. That wasn't intentional. That was just a coincidence. But no, this has been a dream. This has been a dream. Yeah, people are now just going to compare my face, right? I think the nose is about the same size. If I start pouting, my lips get about that big. But it's been a dream of mine for at least 10 minutes now. I've been really wanting to do a special comedy show. And in fact, I've always wanted to do stand-up comedy. My parents were really supportive of me in this choice. All I had to do was first have a career in banking for 25 years. And then they were okay with me doing this. But actually doing this is a lot easier than putting my kids to sleep, I have to say. It's a lot less scary. This man's laughing because he knows what I'm talking about. It's a lot less scary. But I actually met my wife, who's over there, through an art gallery. I was at an art gallery one time, true story. She's actually here because she's employed and she has to be here. Not really because she wants to be here. She's forced to be here, I should say. There's no choice. She's suffering. Yeah. No, I was at an art gallery one time with a friend and he saw a really attractive woman and he said to me, I'm going to go chat to her, try and get a number. And I was wandering around the art gallery and I met another guy and he said, oh, who are you here with? I said, see that guy over there that's talking to that woman trying to get a number? That's my friend. And I said, what about you? Who are you here with? He said, see the woman that your guy's talking to? That's my girlfriend. That's my girlfriend. I thought it wasn't going to end well, but it actually ended pretty well. We became very good friends. And he introduced me to my wife, actually, later on. In case you're wondering, that wasn't the girlfriend at the time. I didn't steal her away from him. But he introduced me to her as a porn star.
True story.
And 3 minutes into one of our days, she realized that's not true. That wasn't fake introduction. Not good. Adam Neate, though, is a very innovative artist. I hope you've been enjoying his work. I mean, he's supposed to be a technological innovator, right? That combines technological innovation with emotional immediacy. So when I heard that, I thought this was going to be a room full of sex bots. I wasn't sure what I was going to get. But actually, the other thing about Adam Neate, I read that he likes to paint how things feel versus how they actually look. So if he's going to do a painting of me next time, not this blue man, this is what he should paint when I accidentally get hit in the balls every day by my dog. Oh! That's the face. That's the face he needs. She's just at that height, by the way, that fucks everything up. Also, I read in the brochure that Adam Neate likes to combine his paintings with triumph, vulnerability, emotional despair, and intimacy. And I think if you take the intimacy out of that, you basically describe a marriage. I think that's what he was doing. And he also, the married people laughing. The non-married people thinking, what have I got in store ahead of me? I'm a bit worried now. He also likes to compartmentalize time and space, apparently. I don't know. Is he Doctor Strange? I'm not sure what that is. I wish I could do that. I wish I could compartmentalize time and space so that I can get Baby Shark out of my head. That is a fucking problem for me right now. That is a problem. But selling art is a very noble endeavor. I hope you've been all looking at the paintings downstairs. I hope some of you are going to buy some of them later on. That's a hint, just out of interest. But selling...
That's it.
Yeah, she gets commissions. But selling anything in Hong Kong is difficult. I've been trying to sell some stuff on Carousel or Facebook Marketplace. We had some electronics we were trying to sell. Anyone try to sell anything on Facebook or Carousel? It's ridiculous, right? You put the picture on, you put the location, you put the price, you put the description, and after that is when the idiotic messages start coming in. It made me more miserable. I put it on, and the first message I get, how much is it? Can you read? The fucking price is right there at the top. I don't understand. Next message, wow, so far away, la. Just don't fucking come then. That's as simple as that. Can you reserve for me? No, I can't reserve for you. Buy it or don't buy it. And my favorite one, I'm selling a fucking air purifier, right? Can you send me the backside picture? It's not Snapchat. I don't know what kind of backside picture this guy's looking for. It's very, very weird for me.
He wasn't talking about the air purifier.
Yeah, I don't know what he was talking about. Maybe he's very unfulfilled in his life. It's very, very different. Yeah. One guy actually asked me for 80% off. And I thought, that's a little bit ridiculous, right? Like, I might as well give it for free. Like, what is the point of that? I mean, I know Hong Kong is a place to get great deals. Sometimes you go to a supermarket and you buy two of the same item and you get 5 cents off. It's really good. But did you know? Did you know? Did you know in India that you can actually haggle by threatening someone with physical violence? Are you aware of this? I was in India with my aunt, right, and she was trying to buy something from a shop, and a guy said, she said, how much is it? He goes, 200 rupees. She goes, what? What do you tell me? Give me another price. Now, another price. This is the Indian hand, by the way. This is the Indian hand. This hand haggles, it stops traffic, and we also eat with it. If you're trying to think about what else we do with the hand, that's this hand. That's the other hand. That is this hand. That's not the same hand. Another guy also messaged me and said, can you make sure that the parts and the replacement parts are delivered and received at the same time? I still haven't figured out what the fuck that is. I'm worried because I think he used AI to translate. I think there's a really weird translation issue. And I was thinking, like, this has become a common problem now, right? I was with my friend a few years ago, and he's an Indian guy, but he grew up in the US. So he's a very Indian American accent, which all the time, I know what it's like. What do you do? I know. And that's his real voice. It's weird to hear me say that. It's weird to hear him say that. I'm standing next to the guy. It's even weirder. I had to fucking... So we were in Scotland a while back, and we were in a strip club, and he's trying to talk to the stripper, and he's like, hey, can you talk to her? Ask her what the hobbies? What's she saying? And I said to her, like, he's asking you what are your hobbies? He goes, yeah, can you tell him I've got a willy? I'm like, he's saying that she's saying she has a penis. He's like, why would she say that? I don't understand. What are you talking about? I don't understand. So I was translating English into fucking English. That's what was going on. I think that has to be an option for Google Translate. English into English. It's the next thing. But a little bit about me. Even though I'm the miserable comedy man, and I'm miserable most of the time, my name is Ananya. It's a tough name to say. Actually, my family are from A's are pronounced as O's. So technically, my name is Oh No No. And what worries me about that is my parents told me, they're, oh no! I haven't figured out why they added that. No, that part eludes me to this day. It's not even an easy name to spell. Most Indian guys can't get it right. Actually, my name is more of a female name. But my mother, she added an extra N in the middle to make it sound more masculine. That worked out really well for me in England in the 1980s, let me tell you. That was amazing. We were out one time. I was with my friend Dave, and we were walking down the street. I was quite young. And the police saw us. They stopped us. And they said to us, you been in any trouble with the police before? And my idiot friend said, not to my recollection, sir. So the policeman goes, right, I need a background check on you guys now. I need a background check. So I give him my name. And he calls up the station. He's like, I need a background check. It's Nanya Sen, right? No, it's spelled Alpha November Alpha. November November Yankee Alpha. No, that's the first name. Nanya. Yeah, you got it? All right. The surname is Sen. Yeah, Sierra Echo November. Right, that's the surname. Okay, right. Okay, good. I need a background check on David Smith. And then he looks at me and goes, that's spelled David Smith. What a fucking bastard. He could have just tried at least to say it. I was on a sports tour one time with the firm I was at, and the partner there, his name was Richard. And he said to me, what's your name then, son? I said, it's Ananya. He said, right, I'm going to call you Jim. I said, fine, I'm going to call you Dick. How about that? I think that's a fair trade. That is a fair trade. Thank you for the clap. Thank you for the clap, fellow comedian in the back. That's what I need. I need a clap for the comedian. But you know, when I got to Hong Kong, I was single. My dad was desperate for me to find a wife. He said, when you get to Hong Kong, make sure you keep your eyes and your ears open. I said, Dad, that is how you find suspect bomb packages on the MTR. That's not how you find a wife. My dad actually, I think, was in his secret agent phase. He just got his mobile phone and he didn't really know how to text, so that's what I got. And when I landed in Hong Kong, I said, I've arrived safely. And he replied, said, message received and understood. And then the next message was just 2 full stops. I don't know what that was about. It's very weird. But I met a lot of interesting people here. My name is tough, right? My name is tough. But I met some interesting Hong Kong names here. People with really cool English names. I met an old guy called Dinosaur. I met a maybe, a zero, all kinds of names, right? Any single ladies in the audience tonight? Anyone brave enough to say they're single? Okay, single lady right there. Well, what's your... Yeah, round of applause for the single lady. What's your name?
Jay Lee.
Jay Lee.
Or Jessica.
Jessica, see, that's the wrong name. That's the wrong name. That's why you're single. You need to change your name. Change your name right now. I knew a girl, right? She was always single, couldn't find a guy, because her English name was Lacey. That's not a good name. You don't want to marry a lazy. That's not good. But I knew another girl, by the way. She always had a guy, always had guys chasing after her, because her English name was Easy. That's what you want to hear as a man, right? Hi, I'm Easy. That's a perfect introduction. Perfect introduction. Perfect introduction.
Easy.
Yeah, Easy's a good name. When I got here, it's good meeting people. They would ask me, like, where are you from? And I said, I'm from London. I said, where were you born? I said, I was born in London. And then they said, where are you from before that? Before I was born. Just because I'm Indian, we don't all believe in reincarnation. That's a very bad stereotype. Very bad stereotype. But no, I met my lovely wife. It was really cool. Like, we used to hang out in Hong Kong. This was back in the day. You didn't get a lot of mixed race relationships. We would walk down the street. The old Chinese grandmas would see us. They'd give us the, the hak mean, the black face. I don't know why it's black face. It should be angry face, right? Not black face. I didn't get that. Okay. And then the Indian guys would see us, and the Indian guys would go, hey. Well done, brother. Well done. But when you're in a mixed race relationship, you start to worry about different things. Like when we were having a kid, we started to worry about what the mix would be like. I mean, I'm an Indian guy. I'm very hairy, right? Indians are very hairy people. I'm so hairy I had to shave my ears before I came out tonight. That's how hairy I am. I remember one time I was in Kiehl's. I was trying to buy some aftershave. And the woman brought me to the aftershave section. And she said, oh, this is it. And in Chinese, I think it said aftershave. But in English, it said moisturizer. I'm like, this is not aftershave. She goes, no, aftershave. You use on your head and your nose. How hairy does she think I am? I'm fucking now shaving my forehead and my nose? Like, I don't understand. It's ridiculous, right? Ridiculous. And when I bought the ring, right, I put the ring on the finger when we were getting married, and I realized I have a really hairy finger. You're all going to be looking at my finger later on, just to let you know. But I have a really hairy finger. I thought, do I have to shave my finger? I can't shave one finger. That's going to look weird, right? I have to shave the whole hand now. No, that will look even weirder. I've got to start a monthly hand grooming, shaving routine just to make sure the ring looks nice. So also, like, as an Indian guy, I have very long legs and a very short torso. And my wife, being Hong Kong Chinese, she has a very long torso and very short legs. So I was worried, right? I was worried that if my son got the worst of both worlds, I thought we would get like a midget werewolf. That was the image that was going through my head. I was really worried. My son got the best of both worlds, though. He got her looks and my brain, so that was all good. That was all good. Although now he's a bit older, I realize he's actually got my jawline and her teeth. So it's a bit of an expensive situation that's about to happen fairly soon. But it's great having kids. I've got 2 young kids. Any parents in the house tonight? A few parents in, right? I tell you, being a parent is amazing. As soon as you become a parent, you have this unbelievable superpower of judging every other fucking parent. Do you know what I'm talking about? The minute you go to a party, you see some other kids, the first thing on the way home, you or your wife will say, I can't believe their kids do that. I would never let my children do that. How do they raise their kids? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And being in Hong Kong a while, I've started to like hate children. It's ridiculous. I've got my own kids. But I'm starting to hate children. I was on the bus the other day, and this boy was walking down off the bus stop, on the bus, right? And his dad was holding his hand. And he's literally stepping on everyone's foot as he's going off. And the dad is doing nothing. And I'm thinking, if I just trip that little bastard. Is this what Hong Kong has done to me, advocating violence towards children? It's a sad state of affairs. My kids, though, they're amazing, but they do manipulate us. My wife doesn't like that term. She doesn't like the label. They don't know what they're doing. You can't use manipulation. My girl is 5 years old. And I have seen her practice her cry in the mirror. She goes, "Ah!" No, "Ah! Ah!" Different practice cries. It's crazy. And let me give you a tip. This is the way you can tell if they're manipulating you or not, right? When your kid is having that break, like, "Ah! Ah! Ah!" all you have to go, you have to say one word. You just go chocolate, go, "Ah!" and then go back. If you say chocolate, "Ah!" that's when they're manipulating you. That's when they're manipulating you. Kids do manipulate. It's very true. But I've been in Hong Kong a long time. I've been here 15 years. I really love Hong Kong. It's a really cool place. Hong Kong is like an almost city to me, though. There's a lot of almost here. I don't know if you've noticed this. Like Hong Kong, the MTR escalator almost gets you to street level. You know what I mean? Right? People almost know what time the film starts in the cinema. They almost know where their seat is. And the taxi drivers will almost take you to where you want to go. You will never get that in any other profession in the world. You will never get a chef go, "Hey, I'm going to cook the main, but can you just finish off the vegetables and the sauce for me?" You'll never get a heart surgeon go, "Right, I'm just going to close up 3 of the heart valves. Can you just do the last one and sew yourself up when I'm done?" It's pretty ridiculous. But Hong Kong, we had Halloween lately. Really good time in Hong Kong. Growing up in the UK, we didn't really have that. We didn't care about Halloween. But everyone had fun. And after Halloween finished, I realized that I'm still seeing a lot of ghosts in Hong Kong. And I'm wondering what's going on. And I took a closer look, and I realized it's just young Chinese girls wearing white makeup. Have you seen this? I don't know if they're trying to be Korean or Japanese or whatever, but sometimes I have to double take because I think they're bleeding from their eyes. But it's just a red eyeliner, right? It's a red eyeliner. Hong Kong's really hot as well. I mean, we're in November and it's still pretty warm. I'm only wearing this jacket because Jamie told me I had to wear it. But it's true. It is true. But it's very hot. I was in Fortress a while back and I was buying a dehumidifier and I was looking at the 2 models. And I said to the lady, "Well, this one is $500 more than that one. Why is this one more expensive?" And she said, this one has the technology." I'm like, what the fuck does that have? A little man inside sucking up all the air? I didn't understand what the difference was. But the one thing about Hong Kong I think is great is the racism here. I love racism in Hong Kong. This is the only place where racism is a positive impact on my life. It works in my favor. I walk down the street, someone has a clipboard, they see my face and they put it down. No, I'm not going to say anything. So, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, people call me up and they go, "Why?" I'm like, "Yeah, hello." And they're like, I'm like, "No." "Do you speak English?" And they say, "No, sorry, I don't speak any English at all. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye." But what the hell was that, right? What the hell was that? And my favorite thing, if I sit on the MTR, I will always get a spare seat next to me. It's really cool. But I tell you what, after COVID, if I cough, I get the whole carriage to myself. It's fucking amazing. The whole carriage is really cool. It's really cool. Also, I'm a big superhero guy. Anyone saw the recent Superman film or Fantastic Four? Any superhero fans other than me? I need one person to say yes. Right, one person about Justin. Yeah, Justin's a superhero fan. Did you know that there are real life superheroes in Hong Kong? People with real superpowers. I didn't know this till I got here. So let me know if you've seen these people. When I walk and I open a door, as the door is closing, the person behind me can get through a 3-millimeter gap without touching the door in any way. They just like Reed Richards level through the fucking door. Have you seen the people that get in a lift or an elevator and they don't press a button? They don't even look at the buttons. They just use their brain to fucking make you press the button and they want to get off. Have you seen those people when you're walking down the street and you're trying to get past someone? They cut you off every way without even looking behind them. That is insane levels. And my favorite, the indestructible old people. They walk the wrong way down one-way streets, arguing with traffic, trying to punch cars, go, "Diu lei lao mo, hang ga cha bo gai." These people are amazing, amazing. I don't really speak much Cantonese. My wife is very upset I didn't learn Cantonese very well. It's a very hard language. It's a very hard language for me to learn. It's tough, right? A lot of the words sound the same to me. Like the word for church and traffic sounds very similar, to me at least. And I remember we used to live in the church in Johnson Road in Wan Chai. And I'll get the taxi there. I said, and we drove past the church. I'm like, "Where are you going?" He said, "You said traffic." Traffic's not a fucking destination. What did he want me to do? We get to Causeway Bay. There's enough taxis here. It's okay. We can get out. Density's good. And the word for mother and horse, very similar to me. Ma and ma. You can't get those two mixed up in a sentence. You can't say, "What did you do the weekend?" "I went to visit my horse. We had a good chat. She did my ironing, made me a nice cup of tea." "What did you do the weekend?" "I saw my mother. I rode her really hard. I cleaned her up afterwards, and I gave her a nice carrot." Those are two things you can't mix up. I mean, even when I got to Hong Kong, I thought either there are a lot of gay people here or they don't like gay people here. Because everywhere I went, I just heard homo, homo, homo. I was like, what are they saying? And where I live now, we moved to Daiwai, is it? We live in Sha Tin Heights. And the way to say that is Sa Tin Leng Lo. And I get that right most of the time. But I was drunk and I got in a taxi one time and I said, "I'm going Sa Tin Leng Loi." The taxi driver started laughing. And then he started driving. I realized my mistake, but where the fuck was he taking me? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But when we moved into our new flat, my wife's very Chinese in some ways. She wanted to do the offering ceremony, right, to bless the flat. So we had all the offerings in the four corners. We lit the fire in the middle of the flat. And the fire, we're throwing the incense in, doing the chanting. Okay. Wow, is that offering ceremony here? There's someone. I like the sound effects. I didn't pay her to do the sound effects for the offering ceremony. It's very good, it's very good. And the fire's getting a bit bigger and bigger, and I'm getting a little bit nervous. And she sees my face, and she goes, "No, think good thoughts, positive energy, positive thoughts." I'm trying to think about my face not getting burned off. That is a positive thought that's going through my head right now. But last year, though, because she's trying to get me to more Chinese culture, last year I had a pretty bad cough, and she took me to see the Chinese doctor. And the doctor said to me, "Usually, I tell what's wrong with people by the color of their skin, but today is going to be difficult." And then he said, "Stick out your tongue." So I stuck out my tongue. He said, "That is the weakest tongue I've ever seen in my life." I said, "She's never complained, to be honest, so I don't know what you're talking about." She was there, she tried to punch me, but she's not a very good shot, so she was... But as I said, we're moving into our flat. I mean, it's because I lost my job last year, so it was either this or Food Panda. I was going to say Deliveroo, I can't say Deliveroo anymore, it's closed down. Cool thing about I remember when we were living in the old place, we used to go to a Japanese restaurant a lot. And I remember one time I went in there with my shorts, and they just handed me the Food Panda bag. And I thought, fuck it, it's a free lunch. I'll just take that. It's very tasty. It's very tasty. Very tasty lunch. But I did have some time, so I went back to London recently. London has changed lately. It's a bit shit now. It's not as good as it used to be. But one thing I noticed about London, the difference between London and Hong Kong, in London you're taught very early on, like escalator etiquette. You know what I'm talking about? You stand on the right and you walk down on the left. And then I got back to Hong Kong and I'm trying to get down on the left, and you just feel the tension rise as everyone looks for that one person that's going to fuck up the left side by stopping, right? It doesn't have to be a mainland person. It could be an old person, a stupid person. It could be any kind of person, right? But I'm amazed that in a city where I have some of the loudest people on earth, they just go silent. No one says anything. Anything. In London, that person would already be dead. They would have stepped over his corpse and they got to work on time. That would never have happened. Would never have happened. But London also, the traffic has got really shit. When I was in London, I used to drive a lot. And we hated BMW drivers. We said BMWs are cunts. That was the word we used. We hated them. BMW drivers are cunts. And I realized since I started driving in Hong Kong, I hate bus drivers, taxi drivers, minibus drivers, old people drivers, young people drivers, truck drivers, lorry drivers. I fucking hate Tesla drivers. And yeah, exactly. Everyone hates them. Was it Teslan? Is that the word? Tesla. And by the way, BMW drivers are still cunts. They're still fucking cunts in Hong Kong. A lot of people say that London has changed because of the mayor. It's Sadiq Khan. He's a Muslim mayor in London. I don't know if you saw the news lately. New York elected a Muslim mayor, Zoran Mamdani. It's like a 10% Muslim population, and they elected a Muslim mayor. People tell me that stranger things have happened. And I was trying to think about that, and I realized, wait, his mum is a famous film director. And in the 90s, she made a film where Denzel Washington couldn't find a black woman in Mississippi to love him. So I guess stranger things have happened. That's a really weird situation. Also, Mamdani founded his first high school cricket team, which when you think about it, was just him trying to explain what the hell cricket is to all the people that can't make the baseball team. That's pretty much what he was doing. That's pretty much what he was doing. But I tell you, the thing about the two of us, so I'm going to switch a little bit. I've been married a long time, right? Been married a long time. And you start to notice the differences between men and women when you've been married a long time. We've been married 10 years, been together for a lot longer. And I'll tell you this, there's more ladies in the audience here, so I don't know if I'm endangering myself by saying this. But I'll tell you this, women, you lie to yourselves, right? I've got to be honest. You can convince yourself of anything. Men, we lie to each other. We know we're bullshitting, but we will tell the lie anyway. We know it. And tell me if this is true. Ladies and men, if you're in a long-term relationship, if a woman is going out, and she will say, I can fit in these shoes. Her toe may be bleeding, her foot is sideways. I can fit in these shoes, right? Women will go on a night out with their girlfriends to a bar or a club, and a guy will talk to them. Say, no, go away. It's a ladies' night. Go away. I don't want any men talking to me. Are you telling me if Chris Hemsworth or Idris Elba, Robert Downey Jr., I don't know, Andy Lau, Aaron Kwok, you would tell them to go away? I don't want anyone talking. You're lying. You're fucking lying to yourselves. It's because the guy's ugly. That's really all it is. It's because the guy is ugly. That's all it is. A man, though, a man's different. A man will say, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. That is what men will say. That's what men will say. That's Bill Clinton, by the way, if anyone's wondering. He did have sexual relations with that woman. That's very obvious. I'll give you another example, and let me tell you if this is true. I was with a friend one time at work, and she was saying to me, oh, you know, my husband, he works really late every day. He's got meetings till 10 or 11. I said, really? What does he do? She said, he works in HR. I said, what? She said, yeah, he works in HR. He's got like 8 or 9 women in his team. Yes, you're already laughing. You know where this is going, right? He knows where this is going. And I said, clearly this guy's having an affair, right? Clearly. And she said, really? She was a bit shocked. So she comes in the next day. She said to me, you know, my husband's not having an affair. I said, how do you know? She said, I asked him. I said, well, that's really great. That's a brilliant answer. That's perfect. She said, well, you know, I thought about it. And I thought, if he is having an affair, I told him, like, it's a bad thing, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I would be okay with 70%. I would take 70%, he'd take 30. I think 70-30 is good. I think that's okay. And then I said, well, you know that I think if I got him drunk, he might tell me a different answer. And again, she was a bit shocked. And she went away for a few days, came back. She said, you know, I told him what you said again the other day. I said, what do you say? She said, well, I told him that you said if you got him drunk, he would give you a different answer. I said, what do you say? He said, first of all, who is this bastard Ananya that's fucking interfering in my marriage? I don't know who this fucking guy is. I hate him. And then he said to me, there's no way I'm having an affair. Let me reassure you, I'm not having an affair. But would you take 60-40? Very, very much man lying to people and women lying to themselves. Other thing about men and women is, I think women, when you're in a long-term relationship, you just get a license to act silly. You just get a license to act silly. Like, with the guy and a woman, like, if the woman is out and she orders too much food, the guy's going to have to finish it, right? And by the way, she's going to eat your food that she said she wasn't going to eat when she asked you what you're going to order. I'm not having that, but I'm going to eat it anyway, right? If the woman is out and she gets too drunk, you have to carry her home. If the woman is out and she buys too many groceries or packs too much of the bags for the trip, you have to carry all of that. Basically, the man becomes like a butler with a wallet. That's pretty much what men become. Very different men and women. Yeah, you're nodding, right? True? True? Not true. You have your own wallet. You have your own wallet. Okay, we got one their own wallet. Happy to admit it. It's good. Also, I think the way that men and women watch films is very different. Like a guy will pick a film and he'll sit down and he'll watch it in silence. A woman will pick a film, maybe after an hour or so, goes through every single option on Netflix before she figures out what she wants to watch. Before the film starts, she'll go, right, no, wait, let me get a blanket. Let me get a snack. Let me set the mood lighting. Let me go to the bathroom very quickly. And within 5 minutes, she'll be asleep. 5 minutes, she'll be asleep. Very, very different ways of watching films. My wife is here. I'm going to make a couple of wife jokes. Not too bad. I had to cut all the wife jokes out. But here's a couple. She actually got really pissed off at me last year. She had a dream. And in that dream, I cheated on her with one of her friends. She picked the friend that I cheated on her with. She was very upset with me. She couldn't believe I did this. She was upset with me for like 5 days. 5 days for her dream. And I said to her, if you're going to have a dream where I cheat on you with one of your friends, let me pick the friend. Let me pick the friend at least. Also, my wife's at that point now where she starts asking me inane questions. I don't know if your partner's there, where you just ask a ridiculous question, you know what's going on. So we were in Vancouver last year, Vancouver I should call it, Richmond. I was trying to look for an English sign there, couldn't find any. I was actually looking the whole time for a white couple. I couldn't see that either. I think they're a dying breed, white on white, in Richmond. But we were staying, her father-in-law's got a flat there, 2-bed flat, and she said, oh, we'll stay with him, it's much easier. And then she said, you know what, I'm gonna take one of the bedrooms for me and the kids. Would you like to share the other bed with my father? I'm like, are you insane? I don't know what's worse, like not sleeping because of his snoring, or every morning getting woken up by something poking me in the back. Either way, one of us is going to be saying, oh no! Thank you very much for an amazing audience. Hope to see you soon. Glad you enjoyed it. Please come again. I'll give the floor to Jamie now to close it out.
Everyone, thank you so
How long is it?
much for coming.
This is a journey into sound.